the very forces of nature, they need to have the citizens living in fear. Man, but be not afraid, for fear is your enemy. A man afraid to speak of what oppresses him, enslave himself to a man just like him. But be not afraid, for will come suddenly. Rising, just as the longest road comes to a bend, so do the evil works of evil men come to, soon to come to an end. I sing, but mine, godly men who don't care that the devil takes over their kingdom, they would kneel if they feel that they could cross a deal. But woe comes swiftly. Man, woe comes quickly. Yeah. Now workers who want to please their employers and their bosses by victimizing their neighbor, because today their party is in power. I see, but they know what they do is wrong, and it's weighing their conscience down, because all men know that no man knows the hour. Man, but be not afraid, for fear is your enemy. A man afraid to speak of what oppresses him, enslave himself to a man just like him. But be not afraid, for woe comes suddenly. I see, just as the longest road comes to a bend, so do the evil works of evil men come to, soon to come to an end. I sing, bye-bye. I sing. In life and in the Bible, they have seen the fall of men of
Good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. It's a beautiful Friday night on the Isle of Spice. Still remain the most beautiful island
comes quickly.
with the most beautiful people, yeah?
The days are numbered, all the deeds are known. Their hate, their division, the anger.
Grenada remains the best place on earth. Yeah, there is no watch. We're running second to nobody when it comes to that. Yeah, we are the best place on earth, yeah?
My people will have to pay.
We may have the worst government, yeah? But we are the best island, yeah? We may have the most incompetent group of individuals leading at this point in time.
A man afraid to
But we're still the best, yeah?
what oppresses him, enslave himself to a man just like him.
If you Google beautiful island, Grenada is supposed to show up first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, yeah?
Suddenly, I sing, just as the longest road
Now, when I say Grenada, I'm inclusive of the islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, yeah?
up
I don't think I'm just talking about main island.
soon to come to an end. I sing.
And to officially have your card as a Grenadian, you need to take a bath on Paradise Beach. So you need to visit Carriacou, yeah? Now, serious about that. Yeah, to officially have your card, yeah, and say you're truly a Grenadian, you must go to Paradise Beach and take a bath, yeah? A special good night to our listeners on 92.9 Sister Royal Radio out there in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Also the Grenadine Islands, we say a special good night to each and every one of you. My good friends in Union Island, I hope everything is going all well and okay for you all. Bakeway, PSV, a special good night to each and every one of you. And let me say a special good night to all of you joining us via the Facebook tonight.
To chastise your government.
Ingrid Bourne, win the match. Girl, you know, when I see you win Matthew, Bernadette Joseph, Jakim, I get one, eh? Right. Landon Jane, Valma McIntosh, Wendy Ann McGuire, good night to you. Catherine Maloney, Shemi, good night to you, my dear. I see Dixie and Victor, soul there girl. Veronica Bailey, good night to you. Marilyn Ferguson, Marilyn, what's up? June Julian, good night to you. And let me see who else is there. Leslie James, McLean Mitchell, Margaret Felix, Claude Abraham, bro, a special good night to you. Cynthia B, good night. And let me see, Denise Fabio, good night. And Margaret Felix, Yvonne Courtney, good night to you. Errol Bonaparte, Maria Ramsey, good night. Kenrick Gibbs, yo bro. Rashana Francis, John Mark, Ruth Chitterman, Olive McEwen, a special good night to all of you joining us. Peter Stryker, Lois, Donna Langdon, I see you there. Shauna Simpson, Hermione Calise, Betty James, Lisa Jones, Jill Williams, Wallan Akwat, Ansa Landy. Special good night to each and every one of you joining us under the live. And let me see who is over on the YouTube. And Amanda Jeremiah, Dr. Julie Dubois, good night to you. Jenny Alexander, Ron Julian, good night. Grenada Nice, Grenada Nice in truth was the best place on earth. Yeah, we have some miscreants. We got to deal with it, man. Yeah, we have to arrest the problem before it becomes a problem. And a bigger problem at that. Roy Jacket Man Ned, good night to you, Jacket Man. Yeah, man, I know you're keeping the struggle, brother. Kim Creedland, Christine Otley, Elsie Peters, Jada Benjamin, good night. Alan Jones, good night to you. And Zoe and Michelle. Dominic Antoine, Kathleen Knights, let me see what else is there. Jenny Samuel, good night to you. Jocelyn Matheson, Amanda Jeremiah, Hermina Batiste, Miriam Samuel, good night. Dennis Fabio, yeah. Eliza Bernard, Maria James, Anne-Marie Celestine Grant, good night. Angela Mapp, Maria Noel, Lona Lolo Williams, good night to you. Baby Daddy, Casimir Thomas, yes, good night to you, Pastor. Shirley and James, Sky, Good Life, Teresa Joseph, Veronica Lewis, let me see, Yolande Pariag, Deborah Laborde, good night. Velma Pascal, good night. Carib Spice, Cynthia Bartholomew, Agnes Henry, Faithlyn Holly Douglas, Shrejan John, and Andrew Sherma Jeremiah, good night to you. And Zayla, give me up, boy. What? Zayla don't bother with me again. Herbert Nore, Michelle Alexander, Jackie Raymond, Kathleen Ledlow, Janice Mitchell, Debbie Seals, Ashma Charles, Errol Bonaparte, Gavin Thomas, Alban Harris, good night, bro. Lisha Abraham, Vanessa Lalji, and of course my good friend Neela and Namara, good night to you. And Exelia, a good night to you. Yes, I just put myself in problems with this child, and that child is easy to deal with. A special good night to each and every one of you. Matthew Boyne, where are you, man? I think I see your name there, Matthew Boyne. I know you're tuned in somewhere.
Poverty, to oppose government policy, is living dangerously. So now truth is a sin.
And folks, the lines are open 440-7377, 347-329-3101. You know we do it on the Friday night forum, yeah? So the lines are open. Don't feel free to hit us up, eh?
For the local man, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth, if I say my green Dominica has been bequeathed to Red China, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth, if I say Parliament has become a comedy competition. I'm a wanted man. Wanted for speaking truth. Wanted for caring about the youth. Wanted for wanting fairness in my land. So I'd much rather be a wanted man than to be a yes man to a godless, corrupt politician.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Hi, good night, sir. How are you doing?
Not too bad, and you, and how's the family, man?
I'm quite fine, bro. I'm quite fine. You go right ahead. You're
Mr.
live.
Scott, I'm calling on behalf of the man that they get rid of the continent open and library.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing what amazed me, Mr. Scott, after you take the container from the man, they're picking up all scraps, and everything when they close to the road, they're getting rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're taking it and you're going to put it down by the airport down there?
Down by the airport, they put it?
Yes, down by the SSU down there. You see what old thing you have down there, down there.
Because I thought...
In South Police Station, they have one among the old vehicle pack up inside it. What did they get rid of them thing there?
No.
They had to start with themselves first. You see everything back up there?
Well,
And they
I
hide
thought...
it in so many bush down there, right by the SSU, so many they put it down by right by the, and your hotel right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So what's the difference? You're taking it from up here, all about, on the road, and you're going to put it down in the road down there? Now looking bad down there, man, you actually, and tourists coming in, everybody watching the attraction when they come to Grenada, and seeing all this whole thing on them down there. So it's got the government sick, eh? They're sick.
Mm-hmm. All right, my brother. Thank you for
But
your
I was
input.
listening,
Go ahead.
this policeman, this officer, with the press conference, just before I go,
Go
press
ahead.
conference. And I asked myself, this man could never be a representative. He could never be from Guav. Guav will speak like that. We might have, yes, we might have it, we might talk. People might say, okay, but we don't eloquent. But you come out in Guav and talking so? The policeman talking to somebody, or you know, like a baby or just coming up, and they're teaching them to speak. Man, let us down. He let them go have. And they hiding another thing because when Mr. Home asking Mr. Cohen about certain things, he don't answer him. They knew definitely that they didn't do a proper job. If they had did a proper job, the three men would not escape. They know what they do and they do wrong. But they don't want to admit. Have a good night, Mr. Scott.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much. 440-7377. You can call us on WhatsApp as well. And 347-329-3101. 12 days now. 12 days since the escape of the three prisoners who ended up in St. Vincent. And we know the circumstances surrounding them ending up there. And 11 days since the escape of another prisoner that is yet to be found. And we still have heard not a word. 7 days since the shooting incidents in the south of the island and in the town and so on, in between tourists as well as Grenadians. And the finding of, I think, 3 guns in one day due to the actions of the Royal Grenada Police Force. And we are yet to hear, 7 days after that, 11 days after the escape of a murder accused, and 12 days after the escape of the 3 prisoners, and as I said, we know the circumstances surrounding that. And we are yet to hear from the Minister of National Security, Mr. Prime Minister, you need to fire the Minister of National Security. He needs to be fired. Where is the National Security Council? At least come out and tell us that there is one. Tell us who the members are and tell us what they're doing. You all mentioned when we had all this gun crime last year. Yes, and we did have. When we had all the gun crime and all the gun fines. In fact, the amount of guns they fined last year, I don't think they found that amount of guns in any particular year. Yes, it was due to the fact that they got some shipments that were being bought through the port. But then you always have to consider, if they captured those that was coming through, what did they not find? And what are they doing to trace those things and find them and stop it from happening in the future. Remember, you have a sitting government minister who sometimes acts as the prime minister, who there was an investigation into. I have to say was, because it seems as though as soon as the government changed, that investigation died. And I'm speaking about Andy Williams here. I not to hide and do like I ain't talking the truth. I'm talking the truth. There was an active investigation in relation to that individual for going the normal procedures on the port and just leaving the compound with trucks filled with, we don't know, maybe it's goods to sell, maybe it's other things. We don't know, because the proper procedure that ought to have taken place on the Port Authority did not take place. Remember? Because sometimes we tend to forget. There was an individual they attempted to get rid of an individual because they were blaming them for that. So understand what is taking place. The person who was acting as Minister of National Security is the person who was under investigation for trucks coming off the port. Yes, the same Andy Williams was under investigation for trucks that were leaving the port of St. George, because the proper procedure in relation to those trucks leaving the port did not take place. In other words, the checks and balances, no balance was taking place, and it certainly wasn't checked. So trucks was just leaving. We don't know what was in the trucks. We don't know if it was split peas or if it was something else. We don't know if it was flour or another white substance. We don't know. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm saying we don't know, because those trucks just left and went out into the public. And the person who was under investigation for that, you had them acting as Minister of National Security and continue to put them to act as Minister of National Security. You want to vex? The truth is the truth. It's a fact. They can't take me to court for that. That's the truth. That is not innuendo. That is fact. There's an active investigation taking place. And when the government changed, for some reason, it seems as though that investigation gone through the door. It disappeared. Yeah? So that investigation is no longer taking place, it seems. Because we hear nothing about it, and hear no follow-up taking place with that gone through. So you have to ask yourself, is that same individual part of the National Security Council? You have to ask yourself that question. Are they part of the National Security Council? Are they part of that system? Because remember what they were accused of. And if you want to go deeper, to know the kind of situation we are in here, and you want to go deeper, ask yourself this question. Why was the person who is now the Cabinet Secretary removed from Customs? Yeah, the person who is now the Cabinet Secretary. The person who was taken from wherever they was and placed to be the Cabinet Secretary of Grenada. Or you must do some research. Let me throw out something to the media. Do some research. Or you might be very surprised at what you find of why the present Cabinet Secretary, yeah, the person that's sitting on the cabinet meetings and so on, they carry out a specific roles during a cabinet meeting. They are the person that basically in charge of all the others under the public service. They are like the head honcho. So they're in charge of everybody else in the public service. They carry out the mandates of what the cabinet decides. They are the ones that get to the PSs and tell the PSs, well, this is what cabinet says and this is what cabinet wants done and so on. And this is the new policy directive and so. Ask why that person was removed from Customs. Ask yourself that. You think things happening in this place just so? Ask yourself why that happened. And they can't tell me or anybody else in the know that they were not removed from Customs. And I know why they was removed from Customs. Yeah? I know. take me to court. If what I'm saying is not true, I'm in the kind of take me to court night. Take me to court if what I'm saying is not true. Yeah, take me to court. That's not a problem. Go ahead. But you understand what's going on here. It means that the same people who have been accused of certain things are the ones that run in the show. And when they run in the show, you have the most number. I'm not saying that they are involved in it. Let me be very clear and lucid with my statements. I am not saying that they are the ones that involved in it. I'm saying that there were accusations and in one case fact to back up. Yeah, there are facts. Trucks were leaving the port without going through the proper procedure. That is a fact. That is not just a rumor that's out there. That is a fact. There was an investigation taking place in relation to that. That is a fact. The board of directors of the Port Authority tried to punish one person for it. And we know how that turned out. They had to basically reverse their decision and all of that. And change the direction they were going to try and deal with that situation. That is a fact. Yeah? And then we have to ask ourselves, how all of a sudden, I mean, this is Grenada. It had no other island had the amount of firearms that Grenada had during the period 1979 to 1983. Not another island, even now, had the amount of firearms that Grenada had during that period. But after that, while you still had and may still have one or two out there and so on, we have never been an island where you have, outside of the events of October 19th and the invasion, whatever you want to call it, that happened afterwards when the Americans entered. Since then, you have never had a situation where the amount of people have died through gun violence as has happened in the year 2023. And you have to ask yourself, why? You have never had the volume of firearms that were confiscated, found during the year 2023 is unparalleled by any other year between the revolution and now. And you have to ask yourself, why? Yeah? So when we see certain things happening out there, you have to try sometime and join the dots, you know. You have to try and color within the lines to get a better idea of the full picture in all its colorful glory. Yeah? Ask yourself why a person was under investigation for removing stuff without proper permission from the Port Authority of Grenada, ended up as the minister, acting as the Minister of National Security. You know what should happen? The person who made that dunce decision to appoint them to act as Minister of National Security, they need to be fired. So, Mr. Prime Minister, you need to fire the person that appointed that individual to act as Minister of National Security. And while you're at it, the person who holds the substantive position of Minister of National Security, they also need to be fired. 12 days since the 3 prisoners escaped, kidnapped people, hijacked boat, gone up the road. 12 days. 11 days since a murderer went in, go to the court, disappear. They call it, well, his nickname is Magic. So like magic, he disappear, he gone. And 7 days since shooting incidents on the island. Grenadians are used to the shooting thing and all this kind of nonsense. After the invasion, that was it for that and Grenadians. We don't have them kind of thing taking place here. It is abnormal, which is why we continue to say that Grenada remains the safest place to visit. St. Lucia has 20 murders. This is the 1st of March, and St. Lucia, just up the road, already has 20 murders for the year. I might have to call my partner Spider. Yeah? I might have to call my partner Spider and ask him to give me a call. You understand? I might have to call my partner Spider and ask him to give me a call on that one. Not tonight. We might talk to him sometime next week. But 20 murders in St. Lucia for the year already. Grenada 3. Well, at least 1 for sure. And there's the 2 that are presumed dead. Yeah? And when it comes to that entire situation again, when it comes back to the situation with the couple and the boat and that sort of thing, again, my humble suggestion, me ain't no lawyer, I have no legal training. My humble suggestion, please allow the American government to take the individuals. That's my humble suggestion. Allow the American government to take the individuals. You try them in Grenada, their lawyer's going to say that the murder took place in Vincentian waters. You try them in St. Vincent, the Vincentians going to say the murder took place in Grenadian waters. No matter which way you go, you're going to end up in trouble. Let the third party take them. Let them bring them Florida or Virginia or some other place. Yeah, Texas or wherever they could bring them. Yeah? That's just my humble suggestion. Folks, we'll keep the phone lines open. Let me just make sure, right? 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And Royal Grenada Police Force, it's good to know that you all have started to listen. All right? So, they have sent out these photographs of Mr. Levon Date. Yes, Levon Date, who is wanted by the Royal Grenada Police Force. So, folks, if you see this individual, please contact the Royal Grenada Police Force immediately. Yes, he is wanted in connection with the crime of murder. Yeah, he has been formally charged with capital murder, not non-capital, you know. He's been charged with capital murder. All right? And he, for the last 11 days, has been missing. And today, they decided to send out these photographs, something that they should have done. Sure, if they had found him with a half pound of weed, every one of us would have known what he looked like, isn't it? And no, I'm not promoting the use, sale, or growing of marijuana. I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying, because it's a fact, that if he was found with a quarter ounce or a half pound of weed, we would have known what he looked like the same day. By the 7 o'clock news, the photographs would have already been out there. But here it is, an individual who escaped police custody while on a murder charge for capital murder. And it takes 11 days. Well, they sent out some photos yesterday, so let me give them 10. But they sent out these today. So it took them that amount of time before they found it necessary to ensure that we have the photographs out. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a problem. And please, because I see a lot of people trying to twist things, and let me sound a warning here. There is this idea that's being floated out there by activists of the National Democratic Congress that there's some sort of attempt by certain groups of officers to make the government look bad. The officers doing their job, you know, but they're giving the impression that there's some kind of attempt, like they're trying to make the government look bad. Yeah? And they are setting up these people. I don't think they know what they're doing. They are setting up a situation for confrontation between the citizens of Grenada and the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force who are there to protect us. They are setting up a confrontation and they need to stop it. They need to stop it. They're giving the impression that somehow the New National Party, the same party that they say the party done, the same party that they say, oh, the party had confusion, the same party that they make all of those statements about NNP can come back again and all these things, the same NNP they're accusing of having enough power to be controlling what the Royal Grenada Police Force do. And they are setting up in the minds of their followers, they are setting up confrontation between the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force. And remember, the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force, they ain't come from Montserrat, you know. They ain't come from Montserrat. They ain't come from St. Kitts. They're not Antiguan. They're Grenadians. They're the same people who are out there in the public. Some of them is their children. Yeah? It's their children that's out there. It's their brothers and their sisters and their nieces and their nephews and so on. Their mothers and their fathers. But there is a specific attempt by members of the National Democratic Congress to set up conflict between civilians and the Royal Grenada Police Force, and they need to stop it. It is wicked, it is dunce, it is idiotic. You all need to stop it. Yeah? Stop setting up this confrontation kind of thing between police and civilians. Stop it. Alright. Alright. Folks, 440-737-734-7329-3101. Call now, because later on when everybody's trying to call and I have to close off the program, I will not be staying at 5 minutes extra, 10 minutes extra, because somebody decided to call when it's 1 minute to the hour. You have the opportunity to call now. Alright? I said, no, I'm saying, you know, because I realized Friday nights what a lot of people does do. They're waiting for the last 10 minutes or the last 15 minutes to call. Okay. Alright. Don't blame me if you're not getting through. But I don't know if other people have been seeing it. But I have been picking that up. That attempt to create that situation, to create that conflict between the officers and the general public. So there's now this story going out there about NNP police. So like it have now NNP police and NDC police. So I don't know if these individuals were sitting in the polling booth and that they were watching which part these officers put the X, so they know who is NNP and they know who is NDC. I don't know how they reach at this conclusion that this one is NNP and this one is NDC. I don't understand how they reached to that stage. You all are endangering people's lives. And it should not continue. And I should not be the only person, and we here should not be the only people calling them out on what they are doing. You all are seeing it. You all are hearing it from them. We need to call them out. We need to call them out. Because when they go and they do the nonsense and an officer or officers have to defend themselves and somebody gets hurt or worse, because you could get hurt, you still survive, but you could get worse than that. Then you're going to hear the public uproar and all sorts of things. You're creating confusion, you're creating tension. You're setting up a situation that when police go and they have to do a search somewhere, or they have to do something somewhere, that they are not going to receive the full confidence of the public. I have my problems with the Royal Grenada Police Force, but it's not with the men and women that are out there on the street doing their work. It is with the leadership of the Royal Grenada Police Force. I believe that the leadership needs to change. Because the leadership does not know what they are doing, in my view. Yes, there are people within the leadership of the Royal Grenada Police Force I have full confidence in. But they need to know what their role is and what their job is. I'm not a policeman, never been a policeman, never been involved in the military. But I've been involved in communication, and I can tell you that the communication or lack thereof from the Royal Grenada Police Force is glaring and embarrassing. And again, for the entire week, and not only on this program, there have been attempts through other mediums to tell the members of the Royal Grenada Police Force that they're willing to help you. People are willing to assist. People are willing to help. People are willing to help. So that when CNN is showing something from Grenada, we don't have to be embarrassed. So that the caller, listen, the commissioner should never have been placed in that position. If you know that, I mean, Miss Jenny Simon, I don't know how many of you got to look at Jenny Simon program. Jenny, it easy, you know. Or you could ask the man how much centimeters he had. Folks, those of you that have not watched Jenny's last program, you need to go and watch it. I watched it a second time, a third and a fourth. Those of you that have not watched Jenny's program, Simon Says So, yesterday, you need to watch. Oh, Jenny could ask the commissioner, well, how far he contractions is and how many centimeters he had. Because, I mean, when I hear how he breathing, I understand where she's coming from. Miss Jenny Simon, it's not easy. So, folks, if you haven't watched it, make sure that you go back and you look at yesterday's program, Simon Says. But the commissioner should never have been placed in that position in the first place. It shows again that you have a bunch of people that just don't know what they're doing. They wake up in the morning, it's raining. That is when they decide they have to go and buy an umbrella. They don't have an umbrella home in case it's raining. That's when they decide to go in and buy an umbrella. We have a caller online. Good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller.
Sheldon, as a former soldier who did security work almost more than half of my age, I was listening to the press conference, the police press conference, and when one of the journalists asked him about if proper protocol was followed, and he said yes. Brother Sheldon, I give an example. How that goes. Let's say like a prison. I was stationed up in the prison with a soldier. And whenever a prisoner going out, you have a prison officer and soldiers, two soldiers there. I had two soldiers there. And no way it would find one of them would try to escape when they see people, soldiers were gone. And I was watching a highlight of with Jenny Simon, and where the Mr. Comer said the prisoner push the police officer, push the police officer and run. Brother Sheldon, when you analyze that, proper protocol will not follow. Right? If there was on the police and there was no SSU, there is no weapon. Because you could see policemen they were gone and go push them away. Well, Sheldon, that don't match up. And one of the things again, they ask them in the press conference, where you have the commissioner of police saying, ask certain question was over a pay grade. He cannot answer. Many of the questions they ask them, they cannot answer. Brother Sheldon, Grenada is in trouble. And you have the main staff of security keeping quiet. Everybody keeping quiet. Everybody gone dumb. Everybody turned dummy. We need for the government to come out and give an update of the situation in the country. The people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petermatic want the Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security, to come out and make an address and about the situation in the country with the crime, the gun crime, and other things that are taking place in the country that is not right. All right, well, Sheldon, have a good.
All right. And folks, the question we have to ask ourselves, where's the Prime Minister? The Prime Minister is, from what I am hearing, is supposed to be in Grenada. I know that there is a CELAC meeting taking place next door in St. Vincent. There are roughly 30 heads of state and like prime ministers, presidents, etc. over there. I think Grenada is represented by our foreign affairs minister, I think is there. I don't know if the prime minister went in the end, but I know that the foreign affairs minister at least is over there. But I'm saying here that even if he was outside of Grenada, he could have, and he ought to have, at least said something by now. Yeah? And it says a lot that he has not. It says a lot that he and his team is on mute, you know. They are on mute. They're not allowed to talk. All who used to call people dictator, and say who is dictator and all kind of thing. If who they was calling was dictator, they couldn't call them a dictator. They would have been locked up, thrown in the calaboose. They would have been thrown in the calaboose if who they was calling dictator was really a dictator. We have a caller.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller.
Well, the Prime Minister was in a funeral in St. David, this afternoon. But he didn't stay long because they say he have to leave. Because he have some other assignment to do. But he's here in the island.
Great, thank you.
Right.
All right. So, yes, he's on island. Then what's the excuse? Yeah, what is the excuse? What is the holdback from saying something in relation to this? Even if it's just commiserations with the families thus affected. Even if you want to say that you feel it for the the families that are affected on both sides. Because sometimes you forget that the guys that do these things, I don't think that their family would be proud of them. I don't think the family them wicked and evil to be proud of these guys and what they've done. The family had to be wicked, evil, and vile to be proud of what these guys did. So I believe that the families would be hurting. So I would feel sorry for them if that's the situation and they are hurting. So at least you commiserate with them, you have some empathy for them, and you show some emotional intelligence for them. But as well as mainly for those who have lost loved ones or have been affected by the crimes or alleged crimes of these individuals. And what about the image of Grenada? Listen, social media and the internet works in a way that if you are searching for Grenada right now on Google or Bing or any of the search engines, if you are searching on any of those, you will find many references now to this crime here in Grenada. The way you counteract that is that you try to ensure that the news out there is positive, that you have the voices of the yachties and so who are here that are still saying that, hey, I'm staying here because I feel safe here. I know I'm safe here. This is something that's out of the ordinary. It's shocking because it's out of the ordinary. It's not a normal thing like when you're off the coast of South America and you have men with guns just boarding your boat and so on, a regular happening in certain parts of South America. And so this is not like that for Grenada. That's the reason that they come and they stay around here. Some of them come, they reach here. They ain't crossing the border and go further south. They're going back up. And there's a reason for that, because they know that we're safe. But if that message is not taken, packaged, and put out there, the only message that's circulating on all of those major international news networks, and even the smaller international news networks, and now you're seeing it popping up in all kind of whodunit, TikTok feed and all kind of nonsense with people looking for hits. And they are speaking about Grenada in a negative light. And you have to find a way to counteract that. And you can't counteract it by being an ostrich and sinking your head in the sand. That is nonsense. We have a caller online. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good night, Mr. Scott. How are you?
Hey, I'm quite fine. Go right ahead, caller.
I just want to address this. I think I see the Prime Minister was addressing something about crime in the summit in Guyana.
Well,
in his speech, is not he? I was talking about something about crime.
There was a discussion.
Put a policy in place to talk about crime in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I would say is that they had a general discussion in relation to the issue of crime throughout the Caribbean. That was one of the issues that they spoke about. They have issued what they call it again. But the CARICOM itself has issued a letter in relation to the issue of crime and violence in the Caribbean region on a whole. Not in specific to Grenada, but on a whole.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that he's addressing that in the Caribbean. But he's in the country right now and he's not addressing about the crime that is happening in Grenada, which your country is important, is one of the most important things. You're supposed to let the people feel safe. Let the people know that you're trying to do something about it and keep calm and, that you would try to do something about it. You have to let your country know that you have it on the ball.
Yes,
not addressing something in the Caribbean and then in your country you're not saying anything.
Fully agree.
You're bypassing it.
I fully agree with you, caller. Yeah, I fully agree with you. And the thing is this, you're speaking, again, as you said, they're speaking in that forum, but dance a yard before you dance abroad.
Yeah, and the thing is, he always do that. He go abroad, he speak about things, and in his country, he not speaking about things. He's not communicating with the people on the ground. He's not communicating with the country. He's not saying anything. So I can understand what will, if he's a Prime Minister of Carriacou alone and not the Prime Minister, because it's the people in Grenada who put the Prime Minister there. And this is the people that he have to make them assure that they are safe, This is the first thing he has to try to deal with first. Because without the people, he will never be a prime minister. So this is what he has to address first, the people. Let the people in your country know I'm doing something about the crime. That you have to do first. You can't go in the Carriacou and playing big boy in the Carriacou, and when you're in the country, you don't want to say anything. This is a big joke now, what's going on in Grenada now. Have a good night, Mr. Scott.
Thank you so very much, caller. 440737, and the caller is absolutely right. There was a discussion at the CARICOM level in relation to the issue of crime and violence in the region. Yeah, because I've said, St. Lucia, today is the first of March, so it's just at January and February. And they are already at 20 murders. They're looking to break a record for St. Lucia for this year. So they are already at 20 murders. Yeah? Grenada, we may be on 3. We know 1, there has been a charge for 1. And the situation with the 2 people, if it took place within Grenadian waters, that makes 3 for the year. Basically 1 a month so far. Yeah, and let's hope we don't end up with any more. Let's hope that Grenada could finish the year without an ex-murder. Yeah, let's hope and pray. And those prayer warriors, when you enter the church on Sunday, please, make sure, pray for them kind of things too now. Don't just pray for wealth and all this kind of stuff. Pray for them thing too. All right, for our country. Because remember, if this is where we have to be, this is our country. This is where we have to be. This is our home. Whether we outside or we inside, this is our home. We could be outside for 50 years. My brother was outside for close to 50 years. And he came back home just before he died. He makes sure he come back home. We have a caller. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Caller, you're live. Hello, good evening. Hello. Okay, caller, just remember, callers, it might be the first time that you're calling. So when you do call, pay attention to the phone line and don't listen for me to say hello on the radio or the laptop or the computer or the television. Listen for me saying hello on the phone itself. I know sometimes it's the first time that you're calling a program, and sometimes you're accustomed to calling one of the live programs where it's there's no delay. But there's a slight delay because we're using the internet to do this program. So there's a delay sometimes of about 30 seconds to 1 minute, which time we can't be there saying hello, hello, hello. So just in case, it may be the first time that you're calling. 440, just clear the box, 440-7377. And remember, you can also call us via WhatsApp. Yes, you can call us via WhatsApp on 440-7377. If you're outside of Grenada, you need to save the number as 1473-440-7377. But before the 1, you need to put a plus sign. Yeah, because I realize sometimes if you don't put the plus sign, it doesn't recognize it. So put the plus sign before the 1. So plus sign 1473-440-7377. And you should be able to get through like that. All right, folks. So I'm trying to figure out, because we're not even sure. According to one listener just messaged me there. They said we're not even sure if indeed the Prime Minister is here, because he could have easily flown out to that meeting this evening. So we're not sure if he's here, if he's gone, if he's here, right? We're not sure. Because next door, again, there's the CELAC meeting taking place out there in St. Vincent. Leaders from all over, a lot of them are there. I think they said about 30 to 40, somewhere around there. I can't remember the exact figure, but I know it's over 30 leaders are there, right? Grenada was being represented by our Minister of Foreign Affairs. So we don't know if our Prime Minister go. Because we know he like to jump plane and go different place. Every minute, he's jump a plane, jump a plane, jump up. I'm sure right now he could fly a plane on his own because he in them so much. He probably know how to fly a plane by now. Yeah? They could give him an aviator's license. Right? If not, they could probably give him the stewardess license or some kind of thing, because the amount of time they're spending on them plane by now, they should know how to do all them things. In fact, when they're doing, does do the thing about put on your life jacket and thing. I'm sure he could do that out of memory right now, just from all them. Well, all of them could do that out of memory right now. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on the inside. And I want you all to remember this one, yeah?
I am Grenadian. I am Grenadian. I am Grenadian. I am Grenadian. Just tell them we proud. We proud of we country. Tell them we proud. We proud of we land. Tell them we proud. We proud of we people. Proud Grenadian. Just tell them we proud. We proud of we country. Tell them we proud. We proud of we land. Tell them we proud. We proud of we people. Proud Grenadian. Grenada Island.
Let me say a special good night to all the people I saw today. The gentleman and the lady I met by Miss Kiami. Your name eludes me at this moment. I'm having a senior moment, so I can't remember the names. But you all know yourselves. A special good night to both of you.
We have been through rough struggles. We have been through so much pain. We have been
Yes, both of you from Boston.
both natural and man-made.
Hope to see you all again before you all return. Huh?
Era of the rebel.
And my good friend from up in St. Paul's. Good night to you, my bro.
We went through a struggling economy, but we
440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program.
tell them we proud of we people.
Well, I'm checking today's Gazette because once the Prime Minister or any minister leaves and someone else is acting in their position, legally it is supposed to be gazetted. Yeah? They don't just go by the Governor General, and after they go by the Governor General, they are acting as the minister. It also has to be gazetted. So I'm going through today's Gazette and I am not seeing anything in relation to that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything like that in the government Gazette. So I don't know.
The rebel. We have tasted the might of Ivan and more.
Interesting though, one of the things I'm seeing in the government Gazette here, and let me just pull it up so you can see for yourself. This is the government Gazette of March, and the government Gazette is sort of to make things legal, it must be published through the government Gazette, usually and another publication as well. But the law states that it must go through, be published in the government Gazette. And I'm seeing here the Public Procurement Review Commission has been appointed. Let me see, Miss Tanya Lambert, Terrence Smith, Julia Lawrence, Mahindra Robin Singh, Ken Martin Whiteman. Yeah. So they are going to be reviewing the Public Procurement Act, it seems. Yeah. So pursuant to section Review Commission, the public is hereby informed that the Governor General So I think that's the group that would have to review the different aspects of what is taking place, right? So we have the Public Procurement Committee. They have been, Review Commission, they've been put in place. There is also the appointment. This one is interesting because the Public Procurement Review Commission, their appointment was with effect of August 1st, 2023. So that's from last year. And now we also see the notice of appointment of the Grenada National Museum Board of Directors. So the Board of Directors of the Grenada National Museum, they have also been appointed. And that was with effect from the 1st of October 2022 for 2 years. So they just have a few months remaining and you finally gazette. So you have Ms. Shireen Francis Hackett, the chairperson, Mr. Carlton Peter Antoine, the deputy chairperson, Mr. Aquino Romain, that is the brother of Mr. Orlando Romain, who is the trade counselor or something. I know he's for the creative arts. He's some counselor for the creative arts or something, also advisor to the government of Grenada, also the PRO of the NDC. So his brother is now on the board of directors of the Grenada National Museum. Miss K. Julian Gutu, Mr. Brian Bullen, Miss Susan Jones Benjamin. She is representing the Department of Culture, and they will have two others. the representative of the Grenada National Trust and representative of the Grenada Cultural Foundation. All right. And those appointments took place year before, but it's in the Gazette now. So I know. But Papa, they know what they're doing. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program.
We have tasted the might of Ivan and more. We went through a struggling economy, but with sacrifice we rise up tremendously. So tell them we proud of we country.
One of these days we might have to do a when last you see a MP program.
We proud of we people.
I would be very interested in hearing when last some of you have seen your member of parliament. I'm hearing some stories out there, but you see, let me explain this to you all. Me coming and say it is one thing. You, the person from the constituency, saying it is a totally different thing. Yeah. So I could come and say that the people in St. John's don't know when to see their MP. She out of the island again, I think right now. So them that spend more time on plane and in other countries than they spend in the constituency. Yeah? But if I'm saying it is one thing, when the people of the constituency say it is different.
We are patriots at home, doing what we can for the growth of this country. We employ every hand.
And folks, let me just let you all know, keep your eyes on the issue of the public procurement. Keep your eyes on that. There's something happening there. Keep your eyes on it. Right.
Good night.
Good night. Go right ahead, caller.
Caller. Hello, good night.
Good night. Go right ahead. You're live.
Right. So what is program really about? Because to me it seems like all bitterness. Like the Prime Minister is traveling to gain his knowledge to better the country on a whole. And to me, like, this is a bitter, I don't know. Like, give me some enlightenment on what this really about.
It's difficult for us to explain to you if you are not at the level where you can understand what we're saying on this program. So it seems as though the problem is that you may not have the intellectual competency to understand what we're saying, which is why you're making the statements you're making.
I think the problem is you guys are very bitter, and you need to realize how better the country is with the NDC in power. And
well, okay, hold on. Since the country is better, hold on. No.
The people of the country.
No, hold on, caller. No. You're not gonna just take over. Hold on, don't go. Hold on. No, hold on. You see, just talking, and you feel like going out, you know. Hold on, caller. Don't run. Hello.
I'm here.
Yes. So we want to ask you a question. How is the country better?
Pardon?
How is the country better? You say it's better. How is Grenada better? It shouldn't take you that long to come up with a response. How is Grenada better? It's an easy question.
It's better in many ways.
No. Come on. No. Come on. We ask you a simple question. There's a simple way to answer it. Yeah? So come on, tell us. No, you're not going to do that. Not on this program. You're not going to do that, bro. Simple question. Hello? Hello? Simple question. How is Grenada better? Name 5 areas that Grenada is better. And he go on. You see, that's a problem. You come into the lion's den and you get bite. So you run. Don't run. Call back. We're willing to engage you. Call back and explain to us how Grenada is better. Yeah? We're giving you the opportunity, you know. Call. Say what the improvements within your community are. Say what the improvements. You had to go and call Orlando, one of them, to get things to come and say. So you can't say it off the top of your head. Grenada is better. Simple question. Tell us how it's better. You're gone. Don't run, because next time you do them kind of thing, I go put your number out there and you go have everybody calling you and embarrass you. Don't do it. Simple question. How is Grenada better? I hope it's he calling back. Let's see. We have a call online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They just figure, anyhow, we do that. Sheldon,
You could,
we have a
hold on,
country right now.
my brother, you could teach the living, but you can't educate the dead, eh? So go ahead.
We have a country right now under hostage. Less than 2 months, or they take $2,000. Less than 2 years, or they take over $7,000. Right? We have a prime minister that's missing in action. We have ministers that are incapable of doing their own job, blaming their own public workers. Brother, everything that this government is basing their success on is what Dr. Mitchell left for them. Come on, brother. Don't call this program and feel it's yours. No. We in Grenada, agriculture is not being studied. The Ministry of Finance, workers are being paid late. Right? You're blaming financial officers. Ministers are not staying and doing their post. What again you want to know? Grenada better on the NDC this week. Better call your idiot program in Mardi Gras. Have a good night.
Antonito. But let me explain something to you all as well. Huh? If you're explaining stuff and you're giving information out, they cannot attack what it is that you're saying. They cannot say that anything we've said here tonight is not true. There is no way they would be able to call here and say anything that we have said is untrue. They can't do it. Yeah? They know they can't do it. So their fallback position is one, you either attack who is speaking or you attack the program in general and try to become the topic of discussion. So let me explain to those of you that might be reaching for your devices to call now. Do not make that caller the issue of discussion for the rest of the program. That is what they want. If they take up the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, hour with different people just calling and cuss them and so on, then the intelligent discussions that you all call and have here, you all call and you say things very intelligently and discuss issues very clearly and expose things, then we won't be able to have that discussion because we're focusing on a nameless, faceless individual out there who most likely on the phone right now with their handlers trying to find a way to answer a simple question we asked them. Tell us how the country better. Simple question. 440-7377. I did miss a call. Give us a call back, caller. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call. Oh gosh. Yeah. Message me and tell me. Don't call and see it. Yeah. Message. All you people don't easy now. Somebody messages I seen there. I can't repeat them. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night.
Hello.
Hi, good night, my dear. Go right ahead. You're live.
I don't believe you come here telling me don't make that caller believe in it. I don't sit down and listen. I tell people already, when I sit down and listen, I like people to educate me. That's how I just tell people. You sit down where you are and you're watching this country looking as jeopardized, just like if they bury Grenada, and you're telling me the country good? No, man. It's like you have some people that wearing the glasses can't see, they still their glasses, their eyes, and they still can't see. Huh? Or we wicked? Which one? Tell me. Wicked, we wicked, sir? You know what's in Grenada? That man, I don't understand. He's sick with the criminal man. Tell that man and say, go. If he need the hospital, go. He have medication for him. He need to go and lie down there. Or if he ready to let go while aqua. And start that stuff in his what to get in and with. I don't like it. I don't like it. Trust me. I don't sit down and listen in the program. I don't have to call and educate myself. But when people talk stupid, I don't have to call. Sheldon, have a blessed night.
Thank you very much, my dear. Oh boy, sometimes I just have to let listeners get it off their chest. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just have to let listeners get it off their chest. Hello, good night.
Scotty boy.
Hey, what goes, sir?
We there, man. You have a difference when people walking with clothes and when they walking without clothes, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Folks, 44073. Let me clear it. 4407377. That's the number. Folks, remember I tell you, don't make them the issue of the rest. That's what they want. They want to derail the discussions. They don't want you all to be able to call and say what it is you were going to call and say. They want you to focus on them. Because here's what, over the past few days, I've been met by several people who have been complaining that there is a severe lack of medication at the health facilities. Up to this afternoon, I met one individual who was telling me about the fact that they went to get medication for high blood pressure and the diabetes and so on. At the health center, none. Yeah? And I've been hearing that story even when it comes to bandages and so on, that there is a problem in relation to that. During the last press conference of the Ministry of Health, the question was asked, government, let's explain it like this, government gets most of their pharmaceuticals, the medication and these things, they get it through a regional source. So there's the OECS Pharmaceutical Sourcing Agency, governments pay into it, and then they purchase in bulk. Because if Grenada purchase alone, the price might be higher than what it would be otherwise. So they try to do it like that. And let me come back to that one. Let me take the call on the WhatsApp. Hello, good evening.
Hi, Sheldon.
Hi, good evening, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
Yeah, okay. The caller just called and said that Grenada is better, okay? Now, I could tell you a lot of ways Grenada better. It is better because the Prime Minister have a lot more money. It is better because the poor people, see in a lot of trouble. It is better because he don't care nothing about Grenada. It is better because the Prime Minister only care about himself and his hierarchies. So Grenada is a lot better for them, not for us, the poor people. Okay? Let it get clear to this man and anyone else all day who's talking about bitter. We have a right to be bitter because we vote somebody there and they don't care nothing about us. Okay? Simple as that. Good night.
Brother. Thank you. I can't stop it. I go do I tell people say what they have to say. I mean, the program, I open the phone lines, people saying what they have to say. I can't stop them. All right? No, but it's the truth. Yeah? Listen, better is comparative. Better for who? Yeah? Better for who? Because yes, the health system has been an issue for many years. But you never had this sort of problem when it comes to medication constantly happening, right? Let's take this call. Good evening.
Shalom, good night. How are you?
I'm quite fine, my dear. You go right ahead. You're live.
The man just called you to let you know how bitter they are. All of them that put them in power. All those little boy and girl that put them in power. He just letting you know how bitter they are. Because, I mean, our country is in a crisis. It's in a state. If you had sense and you could read and write and understand what's going on or could pick out the difference, you will see the big difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have a prime minister that don't care about nobody, just himself alone. And his business that he running up and down, looking after. He don't care about us here. He's not even going to give a statement about anything. And here, and it's that. That's how they feel towards us. We have, Grenadians are very educated people. And he treats us here as we have no common sense and we have no sense. And he alone have sense. But it's just a matter of time for them. Bye. Good night.
All right, my dear. But we did offer him the opportunity at the time to qualify his statement. He was unable to do so. And I think the caller before this one attempted to qualify the statement for him. And we have to see, let's take another call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Good evening, caller. You're live. Go right ahead. Hello. Okay, we lost that one. Let's try the WhatsApp. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good afternoon, Sheldon. Good
Hi.
night.
Good night, my dear. Go right ahead. You're live.
Yes. Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
You heard whole how much are your organs? Your ears, your brain, your eyes, your mouth. And this man, Caldi, It's like, this man is a headless man. Oh, that's the only thing I could say. This man is a headless man. He's supposed to know that he's a headless man, because only a headless man wouldn't see, he wouldn't hear, he wouldn't be able to talk, and he wouldn't be able to use his brain. So this man is a headless man. I don't know what he's saying. He not on this piece of rock down here. He living somewhere else. I mean, when them so-called, you have to give them the response. This man is a headless man. You ever see a headless man walk? This man is one. Tell him he is one. And I hope he hear that. Good night.
All right, my dear. We have a call online. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good night.
Good night, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
A pig get hit, and it gets hit real bad. Bye.
You, all these talking points listeners, have absolutely no behavior. All you hear say, forget it, man. Oh, God. It's all your show. If all you decide, all your I can't stop all this, all your show, you know. As I tell all you, I just in the chair, but it's all your show. All right. 4407377. That's 4407377. We have a caller on the WhatsApp. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
Sheldon, the man have a problem. He don't have nobody to talk to.
Oh, okay.
He has no one to talk to. You know, he's bored. So he just fast and he decided to come on the program to get somebody to talk to. So that's the man's biggest problem. Good night.
All right, my dear. All you have absolutely no behavior. Well, I was telling you all about the OECS Pharmaceutical Fund. Now, so the OECS Pharmaceutical Fund, all the countries like St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica, St. Kitts, Montserrat, etc., they put their money into the OECS Pharmaceutical Fund. They put their money in one place, and medication is purchased in bulk. So it's purchased in a bulk amount. So in other words, if Grenada was trying to purchase 1,000 or something, and it would cost Grenada $5,000, if Grenada is part of that process and they purchase it in bulk, what was going to cost $5,000 might end up costing only $1,000, might even end up costing 800 and something, because it might be down to cents on each one that you're buying, right? So that is why they buy in bulk, and countries don't try to buy a lot of stuff on their own. The question that journalist Linda Straker asked is, seeing that you're having shortfalls coming from the OECS Pharmaceutical Fund, what is government doing? Are they searching for other sources to find the medication to fill the gap while you're waiting on the OECS Pharmaceutical Fund? The answer was no. So in other words, just do without the medication until we get it from the Pharmaceutical Fund. Does that make sense to you? We have a caller online. Good night. Go right ahead. Go right ahead, caller. You're live.
Shirley.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I am fine, sir. Go right ahead.
All right. I didn't really want to call, but I just want to make one little thing for you. The dotishness and the ugliness that's killing some of them. So have a good night.
All right, my brother. Oh, gosh. Listen, you only realize I ain't cut nobody. I ain't tell nobody. Not I ain't cut nobody. All right. Oh, boy. 4407377. If the country is nice, please, can someone tell us how the country nice and who it nice for? Because I know it is not nice for the majority of Grenadians. It might be nice, and things might be going all well and okay for the people that going home with $14,000 in their pocket on a monthly basis. It might be nice for them. It might be nice because those same people travel in plane more than air hostess. So they're going to Europe, and they're going to visit the motherland in Africa, and they're going to North America nearly every week, and they're going further afield to Asia and all over. So it's nice for them. Some of them living their biggest dream. They never thought that they would have had the opportunity to travel like they're traveling, and to have the kind of money available that they have, and the power and influence that they have. So it's nice for them. And it's nice for their parasitic hangers on that are wrong them. It's nice for them, because they are the ones that are feeding at the trough. They are the ones with the contracts for $1 million, $2 million. Look here, $1 million here, $2 million there. They are the ones with the contracts that getting that. They are the ones that create the pile of companies, and eat good food off of the 50th independence anniversary. Those are the ones that they make sure they come out with a couple $1,000 well at the end of the independence, while everybody watching drone show man walking away with bag of money on their back. We attention was watching the drone show. We should have watched in other direction to see the people leaving with the bags of money on their back. They look like Santa Claus on a Christmas Eve night. That is how bad it is. But no, things nice for them. That is what things nice. But when somebody gets ill and they end up at the hospital, and their family have to leave St. Patrick or leave St. Andrew and come down to collect a prescription at the hospital bed, to go back down in town, to buy the medication and come back up, you find things nice for them? You find things nice for the children who going to school and since year before had the 150 removed from the seed program for them. So while the cost of living going up, their parents have less money and they're already in a position to have to get seed, which means that they're not rich in the first place, but it was reduced for them. Yeah? So things nice for them is who things nice for. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good evening. Good evening, my dear. Hello. Hello. Okay, yes. Callers, just remember when you listen on the phone so that when we answer, you can just proceed, right? Yeah, it is who things nice for. Things might be nice for the individual that called. They may find everything going all well and good. They may be benefiting. They may be getting pieces of land because, new people in charge of them thing, They may be getting land. They may be getting other things we don't know. We have a call online. Good evening.
Good night, Sheldon.
Good
it's
night.
a shame. I went to visit my sister in the hospital yesterday. I didn't ask her a question, but she showed me some tablets what she get. There's no tablet for diabetes. There's no tablet for hypertension. There's no tablet for pain. She showed me she daughter's these tablets for Panadol and now they don't have. I know there was a time when you have certain medication in the hospital, like expensive M1s, and you couldn't get here. But never reach to the stage where they don't have Panadol, they don't have medication for diabetes, no hypertension. Shame on them. Good night, Sheldon.
All right, thank you, caller. And remember, we had an individual that called just this weekend. I'm sure you're listening. I didn't get the message from you. Remember, message me on 440-7377. Hit me a WhatsApp message there so we can talk. Remember the story of the lady? She fell in town. She got the wound on the foot, went up to the hospital. They did not have the proper things there to clean and dress and so on. So they just give it a basic clean and slap a plaster. Wound ended up infected. Foot swell up like she had elephantitis. And those of you that know elephantitis, you know what a person's foot does look like when they have that. We have a caller online. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, good night, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
Yes. Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
I'm a first-time caller.
Thank you.
Yes. I've been listening to your program for a while. And people have been asking the Prime Minister to come out and make statements. But I look at the launch of the $50 note, and after when he was talking about the 2035 plan and stuff,
yeah,
he basically told the country that he have no plans for the country because he despised the former Prime Minister so much, and for him to use something that he had in plan, that shows that he had no real plan for Grenada. In my opinion, that's my opinion. Mm-hmm. So now we asking somebody who never thought they probably would have win the election to come up with plans. And then, for example, they got $100 million from Saudi Arabia. I haven't heard anything about what the money is being used for. There's a lot of things that we just hear about it and then it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you could answer a question. What happened to the $100 million they get from Saudi Arabia? What is the plans and for the country? They cannot answer that question. Hence the reason they run from the press, in my opinion.
Of course.
All right, so that's my contribution for tonight.
Thank you so
Wish
very much.
everybody a good night.
And we hope to hear from you soon again. Don't be a stranger to the phone line.
No, I won't.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Okay. And we have a... Oops, we lost that one. Yes. 440-7377. Give us a call. Yeah. So it's according to who things nice for. So I know those children that lose their 150 that they were getting, because some of the parents now, they tell you is really $75 they're getting and all this kind of... They lose their 150. Yeah. So things not nice for them. Things not nice for a lot of people in this country. So I'm still trying to find out. Listen, NDCI, so they must be brave. You know? Don't be afraid to call programs and say the positive things that your government has done, but no to give the NNP credit. Like a person in the South. And let me say a very special, I'll come back to that one. Get the call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello. Oh boy, yeah, the caller. Yeah, caller, when you call, just listen on the phone line. All right, it might be the first time you're calling. I understand how it goes. So it might be the first time that you're calling. I know not everybody is into technology and that kind of thing. So you have to understand that, right, folks? Yeah. So I was saying that I was passing in the south of the island and I saw the lights on at the Monterey playing field. So let me say a special good night to Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox and say a hearty congratulations to the realization of the work that you were doing in the south of the island. Okay, and for some reason, I don't know. Let me make sure. Yeah, I don't know why it is like the call keep dropping on that end. But anyway, let's see. Let's try again. All right, 440-7377. Let's see. And yeah, it's okay. I think I might be getting one now. Let me just make sure. All right, yes. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening, caller. Go right ahead. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a problem on the caller's end, but I'm not sure what's happening there. Every time I answer, it's just cutting, and I'm not sure why. All right, but caller, you can try again. Probably it might be an issue on your end. I don't think it's on our end here. I know that Flo has been having issues, but I don't think that is what is going on here. All right, so let's try the phone line. Hello.
Good.
Hello, good evening.
Sheldon.
Hi, afternoon.
Good night.
Well, good night, actually.
Grenada nice for the Prime Minister and Cam Jones. That is supposed to Grenada nice for.
Well, what about the rest of us? We live here too. Hello? Hello? Oh, the caller gone, me. Caller give me a one-liner and they gone. But what about the rest of us? We live here too, innit? Yeah? Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
My name is Stephen, first calling.
Okay, great.
I have to say, the caller we call and complaining about the country is really not. Because everybody's crying out. That's all I have to say for the night, Sheldon. Good night.
All right. Thank you so very much. And you know, what about the businessmen? It's nice for the businessmen. It's nice for them. I know. Well, somebody had to tell me. We have a call online. Good night. Hello, good night. Hi, good night, caller. Go right ahead. Every time I say good night, caller, with that particular call, it keeps... I think that person probably... I don't think that they're purposely doing it. I think they have a problem with their connection. So, caller, probably need to try another device to call us on, because I think the device you're calling on has a problem. Yes, so you probably need to try using another device. 440-7377. That is the number to call and get on the inside, folks. Let me remind you all again of your donations. Yeah, we have to help Brother Turkey, right? Remember, the contract was taken away from him, and that was his means of surviving. In fact, I hear they go and they give other people contract for other playing field. People that have work in other places already, they come and they give them contracts. So things nice for them. We have a call online. Good night.
Hi, good night. I'm just saying thank you to Mr. Nolan Cox, because tomorrow night Springs Pastor would be lighting up, and he is the one who did the start, Just somebody else kind of had the opportunity to finish it.
Of course, caller. You're spot on. Thank you so very much. Caller, go on. All right, yes, caller, you're spot on. Yes, because yes, Springs past here will be the lights will be officially turned on. I saw Mon Rouge on. So Senator Cox, you're well walked, brother. We have a caller online. Good night. Hello, good night. Hi, good night, caller. Go right ahead. You're live.
Hello, Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead.
The person that called and say it's nice, I quite agree with him because I live by the airport and by the SSU.
Yeah.
And I got a scrapyard come next to me with the old cars and thing, and I heard someone say they're bringing the old thing they pick up on the side of the road. We got some pumpkin and some palm tree and some what do you call it, bougainvilleas, and we get some chain pushed through some road on the Lagoon Road, and we get some culvert by the roundabout. What's the name roundabout? They had some culvert there. They put something on that all thing. So I think that's very nice for me down here. All right.
All right. Thank you very much, caller.
Hey, God bless me.
All right. Bless you. The caller said they get some pumpkin. I know they talk about down by Wall Street. They get some pumpkin and palm tree down by Wall Street. They get some chain and thing down by Lagoon Road. Yeah, remember Lagoon Road was supposed to be developed into this. Remember there's this major plan to develop into this family area that you could go and picnic and relax on an evening and that kind of thing and ting. Nice, right. But meanwhile, congratulations. Anybody see Senator Nolan Cox? Give him a drink for me. Yeah, give him a drink on me. Right? I know it might be a malt or something you'll drink, but give him a drink on me, eh? Yeah, tell him the people of the Great South, I know they're calling it the Great South. Yeah, the people of the Great South say thank you. Thank you. Yeah, for the work that you did and initiated with the limes playing field, the grading of the field and the setting up of the pavilion and all of that work, the road going into the limes. We want to thank you. The lights in Mont Rouge that are passing a seat on tonight, thank you, Senator, the Honorable Nolan Cox. And tomorrow, the people of Springs, my home village, yeah, the lights will be turned on in Springs. So again, thank you, Senator Nolan Cox. We have a caller online. Good night. Hello, caller. You're live.
Just calling to congratulate Mr. Nolan Cox on his good works. Because there is a lot of people, after people dead, they like to wear their shoes. People like them, so. Stop wearing dead man's shoes. Give Mr. Cox and him the flowers now.
Thank you very much, caller. Yes, we giving him his flowers now. Yes, so the people of the South, we saying thank you, Senator, the Honorable Nolan. I'm trying to remember your middle name, Mr. Cox. Senator Cox, I'm trying to remember your middle name, but for some reason it is eluding me. Yeah. But folks, no, this situation with the medication, I'm not sure if people understand the gravity of the situation here. The government just doing without. They are not saying, well, okay, we ordered through the PPS, the OECS PPS, so we have, whether it's 10,000 units or 15,000 units coming. But in order that the system doesn't collapse, that we are going to get a 5,000 units through this supplier, or 5,000, because it's not that they're going to waste, it's going to use. So they can go ahead and say, well, okay, outside of the OECS PPS, we're going to get a 5,000, and it may not have to be the name brand, it could be generic, because name brand is just that, it's only a name brand. But the medication is the medication. Some of them have the exact same components, but one just have one name and the next one have a next name. So you may be able to purchase a 5,000 through another agency, but instead of doing that, they're sitting there and wait until OECS, PPS sort out the business to get it done. You can't do that. Because when a diabetic does not get their medication, they run the risk of, they could fall into a coma, they could get blind, they could end up with infections, wound infections and that sort of thing. Several things can happen So you can't just say that you don't have the medication and people go find it. Where they go find it? How they go find it? They have to depend on the friends and family overseas. So the friends and family overseas don't have utility bills to pay and heating bills to pay. You think somebody in Boston during winter could decide that they're not going to pay the heating bill? You think somebody in some part of, let's say, Canada or so on, could decide that they're not going to pay the utility bill? They're not going to pay the heating bill or so on? They're going to just leave it at that? Yeah? All right. Yes. Thank you very much, my friend. Nolan Sebastian Cox. I know that was the middle name. I'm just trying to remember the middle name, right? So we want to thank you, Senator the Honorable. And we put in the Honorable in capital letters big as the Hollywood sign. Senator the Honorable Nolan Sebastian Cox. Right? We want to make sure that you know that we are thankful. All right, my brother? We've got a caller online. Good night.
Hey, Sheldon. Good night, bro. How are you?
I'm quite fine. You go right ahead.
Okay, yes. Just in regards to some I saw on the news where the Planning and Development Authority began removing structures. I just want to give them a word of advice. While they're at it, if they can, because they so care about aesthetics and environment and so on, they can remove those things they have around the carnage, the poles and so that they have around the carnage that has defaced the carnage, in my opinion. I'm just looking at the background that you have on there, and look how nice and beautiful it looks without all this obstruction and so. So I want to advise them that while they're at it, in removing structures, if they can also remove this monstrosity, in my opinion. Thank you very much, bro.
All right, thank you. Yes, because now the view of the carnage is obstructed from people who are at the ground level. And if you're trying to do your photography and so on, you have all these poles that are now in your picture. At night time, you have that effect with it. But are they going to be a permanent fixture around the carnage is the question that has to be asked. And the second question that has to be asked is the cost. And the third question that has to be asked is who were those costs paid to? In other words, who were the contractors and or subcontractors in relation to those lights around the carnage? I tell you, a lot of talk. We had a talk, you know. That's why who want to say what could say what they want to say, but we have a lot of talk. We have to talk about a lot of these things. Yeah? Because the situation with medication is a serious one. A person who suffers from high blood pressure, especially with the temperatures that we're having here these days, and especially with the stresses that people are going through, they need their medication. They need their medication. And again, you can't be dependent on the friends and the family outside of Grenada who they have their own things to sort out. They have their own challenges that they're facing. Yes, they prefer leave something undone and try and help a family member here. But remember, the government has its own responsibility to the people. And you can't just decide that you're waiting on OECS and people going for the high blood pressure medication and the other medication and they can't get it. You can't do that. You understand? Yeah, okay. I got a message from Senator the Honorable Nolan Sebastian Cox. To the people of the South St. George, they are most welcome. Senator Cox is listening. So he is more than grateful to have been able to do those projects for you, the people of the South. All right? 440, oh, that's why I had the lines engaged. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That is the number for you to get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah? So, Senator the Honorable Sebastian Cox, we thank you. Yeah, once again, we thank you. All right, and a health worker told me she had to go to a private pharmacy to buy a roll of gauze from her personal funds. Because remember the caller that we had earlier in the week, they're lucky they were able to leave the island and so on, and they're getting the treatment. But the infection that they picked up, they're having issues. But they're lucky they were able to leave the island to be able to deal with that. What about the other people who can't leave, who are here? So you're telling me things like gauze and so on. Nurse Maguire, Kathy Albert, Cassie Ann Francis. I'm calling people who are no. J.R. Logan. Yeah, calling with people out there. Organize now. We might have to help out a situation. Yeah, so organize and see what you all can do. We had to fix a situation there. All right? Because especially with these medications, and so you're speaking of a situation where people could die. Yeah? People can die. Nurse Maguire, I know you're there. You know? I know you're there, yes. They run the risk of stroke and heart attack. This is a dangerous, dangerous thing. You can't just not have these medication and not make moves to get them. We have a caller. Good evening.
Well, Sheldon, good night. How are you?
Hey, I'm quite fine. You go right ahead, my friend.
All right. Let me ask you a question. And I need an honest answer from you.
No problem.
If you don't provide or put in place something and you inherit something and you was not expecting to be in a position, wouldn't you take the credit that other people should be getting?
Well, some people do that.
And yeah. Hold on.
And
when I'm saying that, I'm not referring to you.
Yeah,
I'm referring to the bunch of jokers.
I understand you, my friend, and yes, that is
Twiddle and twiddledum. Okay. And anyway, I like how you handling it to those callers who call in and trying to derail us. Let them know we on the move and ain't nobody gonna stop us now. They could say whatever they want. Happy weekend to all my talking points and NNP family.
Same to you, friend.
Thank you.
All right. 4407377, and let me go to the WhatsApp quickly. Hello, good evening.
Hey, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night, caller. You go right ahead.
Yeah, I see you recognize my voice. Senator Cox on the line.
Well, Senator the Honorable Nolan Sebastian Cox. We are thankful to have you on air.
I said me calling and personally, just extend to the people of the South. It was a pleasure to do what I can for them. If given an opportunity, I'll do it again. So I just wanted to personally register that. The people of the South are special people, and I had an opportunity to work with them, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity to do what I can for them, and of course they are enjoying the benefits of that. So I just wanted to just call and register that.
Yes, of course. And Senator Cox, we know the lights in Springs, the lights down in Montrouge, and so on, the work that took place, and I think still taking place, Limes.
Well.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, actually, we had one earmarked for Montu as well, but that one got pulled apparently at the last minute. I think they started to dig the foundation, but I think they made some decisions to change and they pulled that one. So
So Montu was supposed to get as well.
Yeah, Montu was supposed to get as well. So hard luck with that, but I think still the Limes is right there. So and there's an opportunity so that persons from Montu can easily go over to the Limes and get an opportunity to use the lights there. So it's not far off. But yes, Montu was done.
What's up, Montu people is human being too, we if we had to get everything, give we thing. What kind of thing is that?
Yeah.
Nah, man. But
well, that's fine.
Of course, Senator Cox. And we are always glad. How is Carriacou going, though?
Carriacou is okay. We're doing okay. We find a way to strive and do what we have to do. So we're doing okay.
And you all recently came out of the carnival season, and how was that?
There was a lot of people on island. I do hope persons have an opportunity to benefit financially. I believe persons, take an opportunity to benefit in that regard, because persons look forward to the carnival season. It's a critical time for us, and from a financial standpoint as well. Great opportunity. But I think most importantly, to congratulate all the winners for the various events, for the Queen Show and the other shows, the Soca Monarch, and also the young kids, the foundation who also won. They were spectacular in that regard. So just wanted to congratulate them. I think our artists or local artists, they're putting out excellent product. I mean, every time I hear those songs, I feel proud of the Carriacou. Our local artists, the production from.
Oh, for some reason, you've gone extremely low to the point I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay, yeah, you're good now. Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah. I was saying that all local artists and our studios, they have done great work in terms of keeping Carriacou relevant in the calypso and soca sphere. So we are proud about that. I know all Carriacouans, we are proud about that. So just want to congratulate them for doing that, for making great music, putting in great work. A lot of our persons who came out and play mass, or senior persons, the JCB band, they were quite wonderful, and they won. So all in all, it was a good effort from all Carriacouans to ensure that we try to put on something that people persons can enjoy.
Senator Cox, let me make a confession. I'll make a confession, and I know I will get cussed at the end of the confession. I've never been to Carriacou Mass.
Yeah, well, don't worry. We could fix that.
Yeah.
Naturally, there are a lot of other persons who never had the opportunity to experience it. It's unique in its own way. It's different persons who come. They come because they love the experience, and persons make arrangements very early to come. So all you have to do is you could start planning now. So it's not hard. We're not going to be hard on you for not coming before. But we're going to give you an opportunity to come and experience going forward.
Shakespeare Mass is the main thing I want to see. And I must say that I admire, and I've always admired the fact that Carriacou retains the original culture in its original format and continue to pass it on to the younger generation. So when I saw some of the young ones in the Shakespeare Mass, I got goosebumps when I saw that. And then to see them with their own, the Calypso is the foundation they call them, all those youngsters with the music, to see how Carriacou is getting the young ones involved and passing on the traditions to them, be it the big drum or the quadrille or whatever, to pass everything on to them. I love that. And I think it's a book.
That is quite priceless, if I might add.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite priceless, if I might add. And I just want to really congratulate all those who are instrumental. I know some of the persons, I don't want to call too much names, but there are a lot of persons who are instrumental, especially passing that teaching, that cultural aspect to our younger ones. The Shakespeare Mass, I believe, is one of our greatest cultural assets. I think there's a lot more could be done with it. There's always room for improvement. As with everything else, there are going to be some hiccups here and there. But all in all, I think there's a great opportunity and a room for improving Carriacou's culture. There's a lot of work to be done in terms of carving it out to ensure that we package it properly and to find ways to monetize it so that Carriacouans can benefit, that Carriacou can benefit in the long term. I'm thinking more from a sustainable standpoint and not necessarily every time that we have Carnival, that's the only time that we see it. We should find a way to ensure that we package it in a way that persons can sell it for some way to benefit so that Carriacou can benefit going forward. So I think there's great opportunity there. But we must give kudos to those who are working hard to keep it alive. It's not easy, it's not difficult. There are a lot of challenges, but that is for a different discussion. Yeah.
All right.
But I think we do have a great, fantastic opportunity in terms of our Shakespeare Mass in particular.
Yeah, I just am so always enamored by the Shakespeare Mass itself. And I was going through something from West Africa, and I saw a character dressed in nearly the exact same costume as the Shakespeare Mass in Carriacou. I must look for that again. They were dressed, and it's from West Africa. They were dressed in nearly the exact same costume as Shakespeare Mass. It's from somewhere, I think Ivory Coast or somewhere there. And
well, we do have a strong connection. Yeah, we do have a strong connection with the West African countries. We do have descendants in Sierra Leone and other places like that. So yes, so that is quite possible.
Yes, of course.
I started to do some work in that area, but there's much more to be done.
Of course. All right, Senator Cox, we'd like to thank you for taking the time to give us a little call tonight. Any final words you want to leave with the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique who are tuned in, as well as the people of Grenada and in specific of the South?
Well, Sheila, when it comes to Carriacou and Petit-Matic, I don't need to say much. Carriacou, people of Carriacou and Petit-Matic know how I feel about them in terms of not just what we're doing now, but what we've done in the past, and what I plan to do to continue to help build Carriacou in every aspect. I think we have a wonderful opportunity ahead of us. Once given the opportunity, I'm certainly going to do my best. I think the people of the South had a small opportunity to benefit from me. I said to them when I was there that any constituency get an opportunity to give me an opportunity to represent them and to work with them, they are going to benefit greatly. And that is what I stand by. I'm a kind of person to my word, and I try to make sure that I get results at all times. And so Carriacou has a lot of opportunities, and I'm going to do everything that I can to ensure that we realize those opportunities, not just for persons, but also for young ones coming up. We have a lot of work to do, and so I'm prepared and ready to do that. For people of the South, I always love the South. The South is a special place for me, and I think that I've tried my best to do everything that I can, and for those who supported me, I think I was very, very fortunate to get an opportunity to represent them and to work with them, and happy that a number of thousands of people came out and voted for me, and so I'm very grateful for that. I will always remember that experience and opportunity. So,
of course,
I'm still there. I'll help wherever I can.
One quick question though, as I have you on the line, and it's something I've been hearing. What's the situation with this road going up to the hospital in Carriacou? I've been hearing something about a road going up to a hospital and some conflict. What is taking place there?
Well, the road to the hospital is a main road from Hillsborough, main road from the south leading to the shortest and most efficient route to our lone hospital, the Princess Royal Hospital. Sometime about a year ago, the government took a decision to redo the road, to widen the road, and from what I'm hearing, it appears that that road work there may have been some encroachment on private property with the attempt to widen the roadway, and I think that encroachment was done probably without the consent or knowledge of the private land owners or owner. I don't have all the details on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they had engaged the ministry and the government to resolve that matter, and somehow I think they went to court, from what I understand, and filed an injunction to cease work on that road until that matter is resolved in terms of how much land was removed, and so all that is, I guess, as much of what is happening. I don't really have the details on what the court, but what we understand, what I heard from persons, the government, the ministry have not put out any official word on it, but work has stopped because of the court had granted the owners of the property whose land were encroached on to so that the matter could be resolved amicably, I believe, and speedily. Wow. So that is what is happening with that road. But one of the challenges with that road is that it's, which I've spoken publicly several times, is that road is being done via day walk.
What?
I don't know why they choose to do such a day walk, to do such a significant road with day walk, and the concerns that I've indicated is one, the quality of the work may come into question. Also, the cost of the project. If persons are working day work, there is no incentive for persons to work quickly, and that is the main road to the Princess Royal Hospital. And while you have another roadway going up to 16 Corner, that one is much longer, and it will take more time. And we have to think in the context of emergency. And what I'd call and advise the government, make the recommendations that they should assess what work is to be done, the remainder work to be done, and issue a contract so that somebody can get the work done speedily in a more efficient manner, Obviously, the cost savings and the work should be done in a quicker time so we can get that roadway open up. Now that the road is closed because of improper or procedure in terms of the work that is done, not maybe doing the proper surveys to ensure that the land that they're excavating is government and not private property, that now further put that road in project in jeopardy in terms of delaying the project for a longer period of time. Well, in this case, is uncertain. It is our hope, it is our desire that this matter be resolved as quickly as possible, because we do not know when that road the roadwork will resume, and that is the challenge that is before us right now. So it's a for want of a better word, it's a mess right now. So we are hoping that the ministry works speedily, the government works speedily to resolve the matter with the private land owner or owners, and I'm not sure if it's one owner, one person, to have this resolved so that work can resume and we can get the road open so that persons can utilize it, and also for emergency purposes. So that is what I know currently regarding that actual road project.
Okay. Well, we'll follow up on it, and we will be speaking on it here again. And you know, the door is open.
I'll probably return more directly to deal with that and some other matters. I mean, I didn't call for that tonight. I just called. No.
I just asked you because I know something is happening with that there. Yeah.
But nonetheless, we'll talk about it. I just, sometimes not everything that I rush to speak about. It's a matter that has developed and given the ministry and the government time to resolve it, and we don't jump up on stuff, because at the same time, I'm a Carriacou, and other Carriacouans are going to be affected. It's an island issue, and it's not something that we just talk about just because of politics or so. So that's what I'm saying. We just hope that they can have that matter resolved. I mean, I have said over and over, the approach in terms of the methodology, in terms of executing that work, we don't believe it is the best one. A road of that nature, that size, that project, probably over $2 million or so. I don't understand why you're doing the work. I don't know if it is legal from the standpoint, from the procurement legislation, whether or not there is infractions in that regard by going that route. But let's see what happens. As I say, we'll have probably more discussion on that maybe next time when I come on.
Yes, and that will be soon, eh? That will be soon.
I hear you.
All right, brother. You have a wonderful night. I know the little ones may be done peeping and ready for daddy to put them in bed. So
everybody's okay. Yeah.
All right, brother. You have a wonderful one. A blessed good night to you.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I hope I didn't take up too much time from you.
No,
callers, so
brother man. All I seen in my WhatsApp messages and on the chat right now is Senator Cox, we love you. Senator Cox, we love you. That's all I seen all over.
I return the love 100% and more. So I really appreciate for the opportunity to serve the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petiman. It's something that I will always treasure. Yeah.
Right.
It's an honor to do that. Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Senator Cox. You enjoy the rest of your night. All right.
Yeah, you too as well.
Right.
All
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed, folks. So, folks, you heard that one about the property that was the allegations of the government acting improperly. Now, this is something that if you know what you're doing, you don't end up in that kind of situation. I remember many years ago, when a project was taking place in the Monjaloo area, going around with the team, meeting with the homeowners and so on, that sometimes it was just a few feet you had to take into somebody's property and they had to be compensated and so on. Because let me let you all understand this. The Constitution of Grenada, under Section 6, and let me pull that up for you. Yeah, the Constitution of Grenada, under Section 6, speaks to protection from deprivation of property. No property of any description shall be compulsory taken possession of, and no interest in or right over property of any description shall be compulsorily acquired except where provision is made by a law applicable to that taking of possession or acquisition for the prompt payment of full compensation, right? And it gives the other aspects of what needs to be done there if you're going to take somebody's property and that sort of thing, right? So it gives some more information there. In other words, under the Constitution, and the Constitution is the supreme law of Grenada, the Constitution, this Constitution of Grenada is the supreme law of the land. No law that you make could go against anything that is in the Constitution as a right. Nobody could make a law that says government could just take your land without paying you and forget you. No, the Constitution says that government can acquire it. The reason that they're acquiring it has to be for a national interest, a national development of some sort. So government can acquire, but it must be for development that's going to benefit all Grenadians or the majority of Grenadians, yeah? So they can acquire according to the Constitution, but there's also the Land Acquisition Act, which says how that is supposed to be done. And I hope the Member of Parliament for Carriacou and Petit Martinique is taking a lesson tonight. There is the Land Acquisition Act, Chapter 159. It was amended in, 1991 and 1998, which speaks to the process for acquiring land. That you don't just go and cut into people's land and take people's land, but you see, that is the attitude. That is why the Member of Parliament for Carriacou, together with his cabinet, find they could have just take back houses that were given to people. There is a mindset there that exists among these individuals. We in charge, and it's that. So people can be given houses, homes, a home. You know, many people around the world want a home. Everybody. They were given homes. This MP and his administration in Carriacou decided that they're taking it back. And now, if they had really cared, they probably find, well, that person maybe so and so, we could just take that. No, the Land Acquisition Act, it is a law. And this law, the Land Acquisition Act, goes in line with the Constitution and Section 6 of the Constitution, which speaks to deprivation of property and protection against the deprivation of property. So if you didn't know, now you know. That's what the fella from Trinidad does say. If you didn't know, now you know. They cannot just come and take your land like that. No government can do it. And when they do it, if they do it, you have to be compensated, and you have to be compensated quickly. And I think in the Land Acquisition Act, I have to go through it more thoroughly. I think it has to be at the proper market value, and all of that has to be taken into consideration. So folks, nobody can just come and take your land like that. Folks, that is all the time we have tonight for Talking Points. It's been wonderful being here with all of you. Yeah, I've been seeing the messages coming in from all of you, and we're so thankful to always be able to. Senator Cox, the amount of messages I see coming in there for you, tell Senator Cox we love him. We love you, Senator Cox. We miss you, Senator Cox. The amount of messages, and thank you, Senator Cox. It's just coming in from all directions. I'll be looking over there and the WhatsApp here all over, looking and getting the messages. So, Senator the Honorable Nolan Sebastian Cox, we want to thank you for giving us that call tonight. All of the callers, all including all of the callers, we'd like to thank you for your contributions tonight and for calling into the program. The first-time callers, please do not be a stranger to the phone lines. Feel free to call us at any point in time. Folks, as we close, I want you all to remember, in prayer and otherwise, our good brother Wayne Noel Turkey. Remember the account number at Nexa Credit Union, 211093. Even if it's a few dollars you could put, whatever you can, it's going to help. So, account at the Nexa Credit Union, 211093. And also remember, we have our People in Need Fund. For those of you that could donate, I would have 5 or 10, whatever it is that you can donate, go right ahead and do so. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points. And whatever you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you. Remember, over the weekend, check the voters list. Make sure that you are registered. Don't take it for granted. Other people who you know are supportive of the party are registered. Check for their name too. Make sure that they are also registered. Yeah? And remember to be your neighbor's friend, your neighbor's keeper. Keep in touch. All right? Nice. And have a wonderful weekend. Those of you who are visiting the various houses of religion, we hope that you pray for the nation on a whole. My name is Sheldon Scott. I am out of here.
I am Grenadian. I am Grenadian. I am Grenadian. I am Grenadian. Just tell them we proud. We proud of we country. Tell them we proud. We proud of we land. Tell them we proud. We proud of we people. Proud, proud Grenadian. Just tell them we proud. We proud of we country. Tell them we proud. We proud of we land. Tell them we proud. We proud of we people. Proud, proud Grenadian. Grenada, I love you. Denson Lewis loves you. We have been through rough struggles. We have been through so much pain. We have been through disasters, both natural and man-made. We have been through the era of the rebel. We have tasted the might of Ivan and more. We went through a struggling economy, but with sacrifice, we rise up tremendously. So tell them we proud of we country. We proud of we land. Tell them we proud of we people. Proud, proud Grenadian. Just tell them we proud of we country. Tell them we proud of we land. Tell them we proud of we people. Proud, proud Grenadian. Grenada, we love you. Your people loves you. We are patriots at home, doing what we can for the growth of this country. We employ every hand, but there are patriots in another land, and for Grenada they'll do whatever they can. Cause when our country back was against the wall, Hurricane Ivan, they answer the call. All because we proud of we country, because we proud of we land, because we proud of we people. Proud, proud Grenadians. Just tell them we proud of we country. Tell them we proud of we land. Tell them we proud of we people. Proud, proud Grenadians. Grenada, we love you. Denson Lewis loves you. Look, we've held on together through difficult of times. Where dispute arises, we'll find a common line. This country we put before ourselves. Acts of unity, always on a shelf. So no impasse could tear this country apart. 25 and on, Grenada in the heart. All because we proud of we country, because we proud of we land, because we proud of we people. Proud, proud Grenadians. Just tell them we proud of we country. Tell them we proud of we land. Tell them we proud of we people. Proud, proud Grenadians.
Hail, hail, Mr. Grenadian. It with great concern that